It's always nervous. It's always a bit of nervousness.
Yeah, I don't know why.
It's always a bit of nervousness.
Yeah. All right, guys, welcome to another episode of the 7-3 podcast. As always, I'm your host, Rehan, sitting next to my little Chota Bhai. Little Chota Bhai is redundant, but
Yeah, that is redundant.
That's fine.
And what am I? What am I to this podcast?
The Chota Bhai?
If you're the host, I'm just Chota Bhai.
No, I said your hosts.
No, you said host.
Oh, excuse me, host.
This guy can't give me no respect on this podcast, bro. Right when we start the camera, everything changes. Yeah. Bro starts hating immediately.
Put up my media face on.
Yeah.
You want to introduce yourself? You want me to do it?
Y'all, it's Ali here. Barabai, actually, in all aspects. Yeah. And yeah, we're both. We can't wait to start.
Yeah, we have a couple of good topics written down. I think this week, last week we kept it a little bit more casual stuff.
Last week was like more relationships and all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
relationships. Yeah, exactly.
That was actually a bit deep. Yeah.
Yeah, that was deep too. But this is more personal to us. Last week we had our sisters on, so we got a little bit their point of view.
Yeah, no audience today.
Yeah, no audience today. At least not at the moment.
And not at the moment. Yeah. Who knows who may join in?
Yeah, but before we get into that, I know I haven't seen you for a week. What you been up to?
Yeah, I'm back in the gym. Thankfully. I wrote a contract to myself about all the things I need to be doing in my life and all the work I need to do.
Got you.
So I went, ChatGPT.
Best thing for that. Yeah.
Here's what's going on.
Okay.
I broke down my whole life, everything that's going on, my personal stuff. And I was like, here are my goals. Here's my vision. Write me a contract.
Okay.
Took the contract.
Signed it in blood?
I signed it in blood. Basically sold my soul to myself.
Yeah. And
now I'm trying to stick to those goals.
Okay.
And that's something that's kind of like almost like a contract.
Okay. That's
so
good.
like, I'm trying to
hold yourself accountable.
Hold myself accountable. So going to the gym, back in the gym finally.
Okay. That's good.
Currently very sore.
Yeah.
I started my creatine too. So you know how like when you don't drink enough water on creatine?
Yeah, you
start cramping.
Super.
So bro, I'm brushing my teeth.
Cramping,
I'm brushing my teeth. My muscles spazzing.
Oh my god.
And I'm stuck like this. I'm like, fuck, bro.
What are you doing? 5 milligram for now?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to do. Same.
But then I get so dehydrated
that's the biggest thing with creatine. You gotta make sure like you're uptaking like your water intake. You gotta really stay on top of it. Yeah, it's so hot.
I was in the shower. I'm trying to wipe my back, my arm, my whole. I did bicep. I did triceps the day before. Okay. So I'm like trying to wipe my back, and I'm like, shit, I'm fucking stuck here because your whole muscle squeezes. Yeah, it's like flexed.
Yeah, you should have seen me 2 days ago. So during Ramadan, so I've been on the gym grind too. Because for me, anytime I have a vacation set up, which I have coming in May, I'm like, all right, I know I have 2 months now to lock in. Yeah, especially because I think I told you like in December I was at an ideal weight like 190, which I normally like to be.
Yeah.
But and I was like ready for the New Year's, all excited, and then bro, January came and a bunch of like personal stuff didn't work out, and I went in like a deep depression kind of, right? And bro, I gained 30 pounds in freaking from January to February.
Damn.
And almost 2 months.
2 months. Beginning of January, end of February.
Yeah. So January 1st, I was so excited. Right off the bat, something bad happened, bro. I went into a deep hole. Like I was like really like isolated. I wasn't going out or anything. So I was at 190 on New Year's. I know that for a fact.
And you were going to the gym.
Yeah, I was going to the gym. For all December, I was hitting the gym. Everything had a good routine going. So I was like, I'm going to bring that same energy into the New Year's. Mm-hmm. And sometimes when that personal shit happens, bro, all ambition was out the window.
Yeah.
And I went in a dark
hibernation.
Hibernation mode. My boys didn't see me. You guys didn't see me. My boys would tell me to come out, and I was just like, no, I can't. Like, I did not physically didn't have the energy.
Yeah.
And that's when it was really hitting me. So I went from 190, and right before Ramadan, I was 220.
Damn.
220. So, and that's the highest I've been since high school. When my old days when I was chubby.
Yeah.
So that's the heaviest I've been.
And then how much did you lose during Ramadan?
So Ramadan, I lost about 8 pounds.
From start to end?
Start to end, 8 pounds. So I'm as of this morning, I was at 208.
So you lost more.
So I'm like 12 pounds down already.
And you're also back in the gym?
Yeah, I'm finally back. I didn't stop the gym since Ramadan.
Oh, okay.
I started actually the gym halfway into Ramadan. Not even like the first 2 weeks. The first 2 weeks, I was still in that deep hole.
I mean, hold up. Can you tell them your gym routine?
Yeah, so
it's the most like non-normal gym routine.
So for me, I like to go to the gym when it's like nice and quiet. Luckily, my gym is 24 hours. So especially with Ramadan, it kind of helped my routine. So I would wake up at like 2:30 in the morning. Well, majority of the time I was already up because of fasting and stuff like that. So I usually try to wake up at 2:30 or 3 o'clock a.m. and then try to make it to the gym, and then I'm usually there for like 2 hours.
It's the most cracked shit like ever. Because during Ramadan it makes sense, right? You can't sleep, fucking stay awake, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But then Ramadan's over. He's like, yeah, I just came back from the gym. Like, what time did you go? He goes, yeah, like 3 a.m. I'm like, what are you doing?
I honestly like that better because I feel like I have a head start to the day.
That's true, but that feels like too much of a head start to the day.
But even when I was working, like full time, I had to be at work by 8 o'clock.
So then you would work
and I didn't come home till 8 p.m. majority of the time. So I tried like to go after work and I had no energy. So then I was like, okay, I still got to make it to the gym. So I just found that routine. It kind of works. Like right now, like this morning I was in at 4 o'clock and I was out by 6 because I take my time. I do my cardio. Sauna is part of the routine too. So I start off with like probably like an hour weightlifting.
Okay.
But like with like good rest times in between.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to like lift heavy and stuff. I wasn't doing that during Ramadan. Ramadan, I didn't have the energy to weightlift.
As long as you're in the gym during Ramadan, it's a win.
Exactly. Yeah. And I was strictly doing cardio because the goal was like it was like 2 weeks left to Eid. So I was like, all right, I gotta quickly drop weight. So that's where cardio came in.
The good thing is you're on calorie deficit.
Oh, so yeah.
So then you're also burning on top with the cardio and more.
Yeah. So I'm like about 18 to 1900 calories. Yeah, which is
lower. That's lower.
Yeah, that's pretty low for like my body weight. Yeah, but I've upped it recently since I've been weightlifting now. Yeah. So I'm like probably like 2000 calories.
But the good thing is though, you'll lean out as well, lose more body fat.
Exactly, well, yeah. So. But I didn't want to like, because obviously you lose muscle obviously if you're just doing cardio. So now I started weightlifting again on Sunday, and bro, I did shoulders.
How sore are you getting right now?
Oh, bro, crazy.
Bro, so sore.
My first workout was chest and shoulders. I had to take yesterday like a cardio day because I couldn't move. Like even this morning, I was at the gym. I was like trying to do back, and I'm like, oh my god, like shoulders are killing me.
Squeeze properly.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I had to take an Advil, and I finally not feel sore right now. Yeah. Because the first week back is always the toughest.
I'm struggling right now.
Oh yeah, because I haven't weightlifted since last year. Yeah. Like I took a huge break, so that kind of messed me up. But yeah, now I'm back on the routine. Like I said, hour weightlifting. Then I do like Stairmaster is my preferred way to go do cardio. So I did that. I'm gonna start laughing. Notice that. And then I like to end it with the sauna. I think sauna, if I wasn't going to the sauna as much as I do, so right now I'm trying to do 20 to 25 minutes. If I didn't do that, I'd be way more sore.
Yeah, because that's giving you recovery.
Exactly, yeah. So like, and the good thing about going so early in the morning is the sauna is empty. So I'll be in there like doing stretches and everything too. Yeah.
I can't use a sauna in my gym. It's so nasty.
Oh, luckily my
nasty.
Luckily my sauna, they're cleaning it once a day regardless. What about you? What's your gym routine looking like?
My gym routine is
you're working at home? Or you go to the gym?
I go to the gym.
Okay, got you.
It's going to be a split of like 2 different muscle groups. So it'll be like chest and tri, back and bi, legs and core. And
like
then
the regular bro split,
yeah.
Like they call it. That's what I'm doing.
What I started doing, because I'm not hooping as much as I used to, I will start my workout with a assault bike.
Okay, got you.
I'll start with a assault bike.
That's a good
do that for 5 to 10 minutes.
Got you.
Go stretch, do mobility.
Okay.
And then I'll go work out.
Yeah.
Work out, hit my muscle groups, probably 3 to 4 workouts each muscle group. Make sure I'm targeting all of them properly. Going heavy. I like going heavy with less reps.
Yeah.
And then I'll end with Stairmaster for another 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
So I'm making sure I'm burning while also focusing on the heavy weightlifting.
Yeah, luckily, because we're in the opposite, right? I got to lose weight. You're trying to gain weight, right?
Well, yeah. So my journey is a little bit different. Me and him are similar, but opposite.
Opposites, yeah.
Because he, since January, gained weight. I, since January, lost weight. So I got sick 3 times. Once in December, which was bad, 104 fever for 3 days. Then in January again. Then in February again, which was recent. Yeah. And then, did I get sick in March?
I thought it was March you got sick.
You got March. Yeah, you were sick the first 2 weeks of Ramadan. You were talking about it, remember?
End of February.
Yeah, because we started.
End of February. I know why it was end of February. Yeah. So it was end of February I got sick, and I went from like at the time it was around 167, 168. Right now I'm 154.
Damn, that's a huge loss.
When my peak like gym going was around 171. So yeah, I had my own version of fucking famine and depression.
Yeah, same.
That happened. Anything else trigger that weight loss? Nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Fair.
So so I was trying to run my business, and then I had personal things go on in the business and outside the business. Kept getting sick. So now it's I got my supplement stack.
Okay,
So I
that's
just
good.
bought like a 7-day thing where it's like AM on top, PM.
Oh, good,
So
good,
all
good.
my vitamins are going in
Gotcha.
top, PM.
Okay.
So I'm making sure I'm getting all my vitamins.
Okay.
I have my PM vitamins to go to sleep. I'm making sure I am trying to be as organized as possible.
Yeah, exactly.
And I have this thing now where I'm going like FPM. So
What does that mean?
it's FPM? What was it? Financial, physical, mental.
Oh, okay.
So those are my three things right now:
I like
finance,
that,
physical,
FPM.
mental.
Okay, gotcha.
So I'm making sure I'm covering all three bases with something in my routine, covering those things.
That makes sense. That's a good way to put it.
Financial is the work.
Yeah, of course.
Physical is the gym and supplements.
Yeah.
And mental is those two together.
Yeah.
But also other things as well.
Yeah.
Which may be like breath work and stuff like
Meditation.
that. Meditation. So whatever I need to do, like watching spiritual videos like we spoke about in other podcasts. So it's making sure I'm covering everything so that I realize, like, we're a little off topic here, but no matter what, you're gonna go through things regardless. And it's unavoidable.
Yeah.
I think when you're young, you think like there's gonna be longer good patches.
Yeah.
But there isn't.
There isn't. Yeah. The biggest thing is even when in those rough patches, trying to stick to their routine.
Yeah.
Right? Because obviously
routine is everything.
The hardest part, the easiest thing to let go is of the routine when you're going through that stuff.
So what I've realized is based on, things that have went on in my life, I realized that the best way to live and be is as emotionally regulated as possible.
Exactly.
So let's say this is your emotional baseline. This is happiness, this is joy, this is dopamine, and this is sadness, depression, whatever.
Yeah.
You want to make sure your roller coaster is gonna dip under. It always dips under.
Yeah, of course.
But you don't want to dip all the way down, and you want to make sure your dips under are controlled, and you're gonna come back up.
And that's where the routine really helps.
Yeah.
Like for me, like the first few months, like I said, I was in that deep hole.
Yeah.
If I knew if I stuck to my gym routine, that automatically would have pushed my baseline a little bit higher.
So it's gonna be hard to keep your FPM always on track.
Of course,
But as long as when you're in those down stages, you're not getting too far gone.
Yeah.
Then you'll be able to bring yourself back, and you can live more in the right spiritual energy of like, okay, I have to live, happy. I have to have fun with the things I'm doing.
Yeah.
Because that'll be the only way that the good things will be attracted in. Yeah. Because if you're trying to control everything, you're gonna end up projecting the good things in your life. And living a little bit more free within yourself will stop those things from being pushed away from you.
Yeah, like you said, like
blessings.
Those crazy lows and crazy highs, right?
That's where the bipolar disorder kicks in.
Yeah.
You can't manage your ups and downs.
Yeah.
And I've realized with some people, it's hard to be around people that are very up and down.
Yeah.
Because if you're someone who's trying to be here and they're very much like this, it's super hard to stay regulated when that person's energy is kind of rubbing off on you.
And that was me for the longest. Like, damn, I lost my train of thought.
But how was that you for the longest, going up and down?
Yeah, that was me. So for the longest, I was like, oh, everything has to be perfect in order for me to stick to my routine. And I realized like that's not realistic at all.
Perfection is not realistic.
And like my OCD and my ADHD like really kick in.
Yeah.
I'm like, so for me, like if one thing went bad for the day, everything was going bad. And that's like really what I've been trying to say. Like even like there's days that I have bad days. I'm like, as long as I stick to my routine, it's okay.
Yeah.
And then what I try to do now is like on my bad days, really make it a point to like either journal or record myself to talk about that. But the biggest thing, like you said, is sticking to the routine, because that would balance things out a little bit.
And my hardest thing is consistency.
Same.
My mom will say the same thing. Everyone in my life says the same thing. Consistency is my like worst trait.
Yeah.
So for me, being consistent, I think is like almost a blockage to what I need to get to.
Yeah.
So for me, writing that contract to myself,
I like that idea.
doing those things, kind of holding myself accountable on my own.
Yeah.
And then, kind of being alone helps with that.
Yeah.
Because then you allow yourself to be locked in.
Yeah, that's something that I had to do the hard way. Like, like I use relationships to kind of run away from my problems because I can focus on somebody else's issue because it's a lot easier for me.
Or you get dragged into those things.
No, I chose to be dragged into it because for me it was easier to like, I'm a problem solver. So for me it's like, oh, I can help everybody else out.
Yeah, then you
and
leave yourself.
And that was like my coping mechanism. Like, oh, that way I don't have to worry about my issues.
I guess.
But then I realized like, oh no, I'm like really hurting myself.
Yeah.
So that's why like routine is the biggest thing.
I think
when it comes to that.
If I was to put myself in those shoes of someone who was in a relationship, I think the biggest thing for me, based on how our traits are, is like I would end up, going too far to be I become somebody's reliance.
Same.
And then there's less importance on the things I need.
Yeah. And I think we also like do that to ourselves.
Or like the things I need may be not as important as the other person's needs.
And maybe I think that's what I'm saying. We do that to ourselves.
My priorities might be a little more put to the side.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And I think that was my biggest problem.
Yeah.
Even though I haven't had those problems because I haven't been it.
Yeah,
but
like for me, I can talk about that. Like I use that person as an excuse, even though it's not that person's fault, because it's not like they were asking me to be that problem solver and everything. But for me, like there was an easy way to run away from my own problems.
It's also not even always the other person's fault, because let's say
it's never the other person's fault.
Let's say you're in that person's shoes and then they get used to the way you're operating.
Yeah.
Then they're gonna end up expecting it. Because it becomes a pattern almost.
But again, my situation is a little bit different.
Yeah.
My situation was a little different because my partner was super supportive of me, like taking my own time and everything too.
Yeah.
Like even like the reason behind the breakup and stuff was because I needed to spend more time and be comfortable with myself. Like we've been talking about it, because I never gave myself that chance.
Yeah.
Like I had all these issues like stemming from like one of my childhood and blah, blah, blah. You know, maybe we'll dive into that one day if I'm ready to talk about that shit. But it was like just running away from the problem as long as I could. But I realized like, you know, till you actually sit down by yourself and confront those issues, you're never going to move past that.
Yeah.
Because there's no such thing as forgetting about it. You really can't. But in order to process that, you got to sit down with yourself. Like you said, like write things down, figure out a plan, and then you can finally like kind of take that next step from there. And that's what I'm trying to do now.
I would say if you can't forgive or forget something, then like I mentioned in another podcast was the Ho'oponopono method.
Yeah.
It's a Hawaiian method that Aaron Dowdy put me on.
You know, I realized you told me that last year when I went through the breakup, and I was just going through my screenshots today.
Yeah.
And I have this, I took a screenshot of when we were talking, and it's like, it says Ali on the top, and I wrote down like Hakuna method.
Hakuna Matata.
Hakuna Matata method.
That's another good one.
Yeah.
I think everyone should remember that
just
one.
Sing the Lion King theme song.
Just sing the Lion Rahan in his car blasting that shit.
Yeah.
But the Ho'oponopono method.
Yeah.
If you're feeling guilt or if you're feeling shame or if you're feeling like you've been hurt and you can't forgive somebody, do the Ho'oponopono method, because that shit, you do it for like a week or two, no matter how much that person may be on your mind, whether good or bad, it will allow you to be able to free yourself. And I think that's what more people might need, or is a method that will help, because it's helped me get through things in my own personal life, and it's something that I need to go back to.
Yeah.
And I think
it's always good to go back.
I think one of the things when you get sidetracked from the things you do on your own, let's say if you are in a relationship, I think the one thing you do miss out on is the things you did for yourself spiritually when you're on your own.
Yeah.
And I think the one thing I'd bring into a relationship, if I ever get in one, is going to be, or in my future when I get in one, is going to be me allowing myself to have the space to be able to do that shit.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of men, we lose ourselves sometimes in the things that make us happy. And I'm not saying women don't either. I think women do too.
Yeah.
But I'm saying specifically for men, like,
especially
we do a lot of
such a cultural thing, right?
Too.
Like for us,
we don't
like
speak about it.
Yeah, for us, it's always been like, as a man, you're not really supposed to feel like depressed and all that. It's kind of like put those feelings aside.
We're not taught those things.
Yeah.
We're not taught those
exactly,
things.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yeah. So I actually never put time aside for myself till last year. Like, so, like, sometimes I'm still hard on myself. I'm like, oh, God, okay, come on now. Like, I'm going through these feelings. I'm like, all right, Rehan, get your shit together. But I'm like, okay, it's only been a year since I've actually started focusing on myself. So I'm like, I can't put that much pressure on myself. Because people take years to process these feelings. And I'm trying to condense everything within a year.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is going to be, like you mentioned before, it's like, it's not going to be perfect.
Oh yeah, there's no such thing as
one of your metrics from like FPM, for example, will be doing better than the other ones, and it's because something is gonna just have more energy towards it, and it's gonna be more natural. Whereas, let's say you're focusing on your physical, and you're prioritizing your physical and mental more. Maybe your finance isn't gonna be as strong.
Exactly.
Because you're focusing on yourself more. And then sometimes when you're focusing on your finance more, your physical and mental may go down because of the load that takes.
Exactly.
But it doesn't mean that it's wrong, because you can't do all three things at the same time.
With the same amount of intensity.
So you have to just realize like it's gonna be that give and take. And perfectionism is not gonna be there. But I'd say being perfect is just gonna come from you accepting that what you're doing is enough.
And
I think that's
also
the main thing.
through consistency, right? Like you said. And that's something like I'm really trying to like make it a point. Because like you said, like right now, like sometimes I'm not putting my financials on top, because I'm trying to like
focus on physical.
I'm trying to
mental.
so much to like last year's specifically been mental, and then now physical and stuff like that. So, but obviously us being guys, especially in the culture that we grew up, like that we're supposed to be settled in by now and married and stuff. So
But you could be though. And you had. I just want to make it clear.
I had that.
Like you had that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want you to sit here and be like, oh, he a bum. No,
but it's easy to forget that.
Yeah, it's easy to forget.
It's easy to forget that till like luckily I have like really good friends right now, like that I can talk to, and they're like, but the thing is, Rehan, you had the financial, but you didn't have the physical and mental.
Exactly.
And now you have to focus on physical and mental.
As an example. Yeah. He had his career. He had his job. He was making good money. Money.
Yeah.
Everything was on track.
Yeah.
But then what happened?
Still wasn't,
the physical and mental was too low.
Yeah.
And then it became a thing of like, okay, money's good.
Yeah.
But I'm losing myself.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna choose to step away from the money to go physical and mental.
And that's a very hard decision to make, especially the older that you get.
Yeah.
But so like one advice I can give to people is like the earlier you can kind of focus on your mental and physical, then financial, I think that's the best route to go about it.
Yeah.
Because obviously when you're younger, less financial stress and everything, you're still living with your parents. The older that you get, obviously there's more...
And sometimes more stamina when you're younger to deal with things.
Exactly, yeah.
Even though it may come up later in life and may be worse, but...
Yeah, I mean...
You can truck through things.
Exactly, yeah. Even then, like back then, I knew the issues that I had.
Yeah.
But just easier to kind of forget it because the mentality was, okay, as long as I'm making good money, maybe then I'll give myself time, like, then I'll have the financial freedom to go focus on the physical and mental.
And I'd say in our culture, we don't... Guys and girls. I think guys and girls. This is a
both.
DC culture thing. There is no prioritization for mental health. It's not a thing.
Not at all. Yeah.
It's a taboo topic in family conversations.
Yeah.
And I think our generation is kind of fixing that.
Yeah.
Where we're like, no, like what our parents went through, what maybe we see in our aunts and uncles isn't right.
Yeah.
And they have unresolved things that they weren't taught to resolve. And I think what happened was as we grew up, we were taught to ignore those things.
Yeah.
And then our trauma was built up. From growing up and living that same kind of mentality.
Yeah.
And then you will become financially set. And I know there's people right now who are working great jobs, guys and girls both, who, got their career set, got everything set, are financially stable, work in the city or have a great job. And have a car and can, have a house, blah, blah.
But they're still not
But then
mentally and physically
they're like
happy.
physically, mentally, I'm not happy.
Yeah, that was me.
And it's because of the pressure we've been put on to think that this is what's normal.
Yeah.
That at least you took the risk to where it's like, yo, you know what? I'm going to sacrifice the financial to find myself because I'm not fulfilled. Yeah. And I think more people in Desi culture have to find fulfillment because we're not taught fulfillment.
Exactly, yeah. And that was a hard decision to make, right? Because I had like you said, I had a really good job that's paying me well. So I was set to like take those next steps. Like culturally, I was doing well.
In terms of like the standard and
standard when it comes to our parents, I was doing what I was supposed to, and I thought like, oh, maybe like like my parents, maybe I'm able to push those feelings aside once that financial stability came. But
you're not able to.
It's
because
not
you can't balance it.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's the one. I think from this whole segment, which wasn't even supposed to be a full segment, but
that's a good part about the podcast,
the good thing
right?
About the podcast. I think the biggest thing is going to be. If you have to write a contract with yourself, write a contract with yourself. But first,
I like that idea of a contract.
Understand where you are, right?
Yeah.
See where you are. He was financially set, but not happy.
Yeah.
So he understood that, and he took a choice. He made a choice. Yeah. Maybe his choice is going to be too much for somebody, but for him it worked. Yeah. Maybe for you it might just be taking longer PTOs. Yeah. And maybe taking a step away from trying to get a promotion and be like, you know what? Let me settle my role. Let me take a little bit more time and find myself and learning how to balance that. Or if you're somebody who doesn't have a job yet, maybe you have to start grinding more on the financial and figure out your physical and mental right now and be like, okay, physical and mental's down. I'm already going to the gym. My diet's already good. My mental's good. Let me go and push towards the financial. Understand where you are. See what you have to do. Write a contract for yourself. Have your FPM, set up. Yeah. And then go at whatever it is and understand you have to have balance. It's not going to be perfect. And find what fulfills you. Yeah. Live life lightly. Live life with you're on, you can jump up and down. You feel good.
Yeah. And that comes with
experience
the experience. And the biggest step that I took was first take some time to myself and actually process the feelings. Yeah. And then from there, write down the next steps that I have to work on, like my goals and everything, not just financial goals, because that was the only thing I ever wrote about was financial goals. But now it's like, mental and physical goals.
And be vulnerable with yourself.
Exactly, yeah. And that's something, like you said, is not really taught in our culture, how to be vulnerable, how to really, or ever focus on like our mental and physical. Yeah. But till you do that, you're never going to have that fulfilled feeling. Like financially, I had everything that I ever wanted. I was able to take vacations whenever I wanted. I was happy, but I was like, there's still something missing. Yeah. Like I'll be at work and I'll be like still depressed and stuff. I'm just like, why? Then I realized like, I never gave myself to process all the shit that I was going through.
Yeah.
Until you do that, I don't think you could find that balance.
And I think when you are older, as you get older, like I compare myself to my younger self, it becomes harder to even talk to yourself.
Yeah.
Let's say you start journaling or you start voice memoing or just recording yourself talk about life. You're going to find that as you get older, it becomes harder.
Yeah, I thought it was like
it's not easy, bro.
Kind of corny at first when I'm like writing down my feelings and stuff in the beginning.
It is corny.
Yeah.
Because you're blocking yourself from opening up. Because not like as guys, like opening up is like, why the fuck you need to open up, bro?
Exactly, yeah.
But then you open up, you're like, yo, fuck, I'm broken, bro. Like all this shit that happened to me in life, I'm broken.
Yeah.
So like when I was 20, 21, it was easier for me to see my life and go, okay, this is that. Because my adult life was shorter.
Yeah.
But as your adult life gets longer, it becomes even harder to start breaking down things you've gone through.
Yeah.
Now imagine, 18 to 40.
Yeah.
Imagine how much life you have there that you never talked about or try to work on.
Yeah.
And let's say you are successful. It doesn't matter because your physical and mental may be gone.
Exactly, yeah.
You might be overweight. You might be depressed. You might be on, Xanax and, antidepressant medication.
Yeah.
And you are so lost because you're chasing something, but you're never fulfilled.
Yeah.
And I think in our culture, that's something that we're starting to see with, the older generation where it's like,
you see it now come out as they're getting older.
Yeah,
you see like the negative effects of them pushing everything aside.
Yeah.
Because in our culture,
and you can
especially
see
for
in
guys,
the personalities.
Yeah, financial is like biggest thing, especially for guys, like because we're supposed to be the breadwinners of the family and all that. But as you've seen older, I've seen it now, like with our family members, like you see like those kinks in their armor, kind of.
Yeah.
Like you see what they're lacking now.
And I think another thing is you can sense someone's energy.
Yeah.
So let's say you don't see a certain person in your family for a couple months, and the last time you remember them, you had one thought. You see them again next time, you don't know what that thought may be.
Yeah.
Maybe you see them again and you're like, shit, like you look worse, like they look worse. Or you're not judging them, but it's more, well, you are judging them, but it's not a bad way. It's just taking in the information you're seeing. And you're like, something seems off.
Yeah.
And, they may have a car, they may have a family, they may have kids, they may have everything. But you're like,
from an outside perspective, they might have everything that somebody else wants. But
physically.
Physically, and financially, right? They might have everything like perfect. It looks perfect, but trust me, behind the scenes,
it's a lot more.
Yeah, there's a lot more to.
Or you may see somebody.
There's a lot more to life than just making money. Trust me.
And then you see them. Maybe you see them and you're like, yo, they're glowing.
Yeah.
They're like, holy shit. You're almost like, what are you doing that's making you so happy?
Yeah.
And I think that's something that you have to also see in yourself. Like, hey, like, people are always noticing. And obviously, you shouldn't be too caught up in what people may think of you.
Yeah.
But more so, like, people can see it, what you're going through. And maybe you should take a step back and be able to acknowledge, like, maybe I am going through something. Maybe I should talk to myself. Maybe I should journal my pain. Maybe I should figure out what I am going through. And allow yourself to go through those hard conversations, because it's not going to be easy to talk to yourself and put your pain on paper or on voice memo.
Yeah.
And then be able to figure it out and then, get better.
Yeah.
So.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do want to make a good point about the you said medications. Medications alone are not going to help anything. Yeah. Like I've been on antidepressants. For my ADHD, I've done Adderall and stuff, and I thought that would be helpful, but I was still feeling like shit.
Yeah.
Because I thought that was like the easy way out. You know what I mean? Like, but till you actually have those tough conversations with yourself and kind of process what the issues are coming. Yeah. First, you got to find out where those issues are coming from, right? And that means replaying some hard memories that you've gone through.
Most likely childhood traumas.
But yeah, majority of it is like childhood trauma. Yeah. I mean, everybody's different. Some people, different, yeah. Like at least in my case, with childhood trauma and stuff like that. And then like being honest with yourself and writing like down, okay, this is how I was feeling. Processing why those feelings behind it, and then next steps on how you can work on it so you're in a better place. And those next steps are key.
I think what I'd like to bring up too is, well, one, before I get to what I was going to say, is the diagnosis you're given from a doctor is what you're currently going through.
Yeah.
So the medication they're giving you is only to manage what you're going through.
Exactly, yeah.
It's not a solution. It's a management tool. It's like a coping mechanism.
Yeah, to not make things worse.
It's to not make things worse and to make you just deal with what you're going through.
Yeah.
It's not the solution.
Exactly, yeah.
Right? So the solution is going to be deeper than that.
Yeah.
And then the next point was going to be, I blanked.
It's okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. All right, it's okay. We can bring it back to it.
So everything from when you were as a child to now, you already remember. So imagine you're analyzing your life and trying to figure out what happened where. don't overanalyze it, but
Yeah.
just see what affected me and what memories are sticking to you.
Yeah.
Like some people don't remember everything, right?
Yeah.
Like some people
Or they've selected or they
selective
decided
memory,
to
yeah.
block that memory, which
Yeah.
I did for the longest time.
But if you block a memory, doesn't mean it's gone.
Yeah,
Obviously, we
exactly.
don't remember every day of our life, but you will remember the good memories and you'll remember the bad memories
of
more
course,
often or not. And those bad memories is where you're gonna find the solutions to what happened and what's wrong.
Because when you look back at it, you can tell when things changed.
Yeah.
Like, because there's only a handful
Or
of
when
like
things
bad memories.
changed in you.
Exactly.
And I think that's where you find your solution. It's like a needle in a haystack,
Yeah.
but it's your own haystack, and you know where the needle is. You just have to go and get it.
Yeah.
Right? It's kind of like that.
Yeah, I agree. All right. So I think that was a good point that we brought up, and that kind of takes into the next one, because I know that's something that I know has affected my physical and my mental health.
Yeah.
Was my biggest thing was I had issues with sleep.
Yeah.
Like, sleep is something that I've had issues with since like high school. Actually, no, middle school. Like, I've always been that person, like, even in middle school and stuff, I was going to sleep at like 2 or 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And waking up at like obviously 6 or 7 for school.
Yeah.
And I did that throughout my whole life, still having issues with that. So what is your relationship like with sleep like? I know we were talking about it a little bit off camera.
I ain't gonna lie, if I was to add another letter right now to FPM, it would be S.
Okay.
Because damn, sleep is the hardest shit ever,
Yeah.
bro. And low key, I think we fucked up as kids.
Yeah.
Because I think having a good sleep schedule comes from a pattern.
Yeah.
And the pattern we had as kids is what messed up our sleep schedule.
Yeah, because like
it carries over.
Yeah, when we were kids, it was cool because our parents really never were strict with like,
we're sleeping
bedtimes
late,
and everything.
Yeah,
but that's something that if people that like viewers that do have kids, the biggest thing is get them on a sleep schedule.
Get them on a good sleep schedule.
If your kids, same thing with actually the healthy eating too. Those two things.
Yeah. Well,
like,
I would say is to stick on sleep is, you always see like the jokes where it's like, oh, I wish I can go back to staying up late with my cousin when I was young.
Yeah.
The problem is we lived so close to each other
Yeah.
that we did it all the time.
Yeah.
So then it became a thing of like, you're staying up late with your cousins every day almost.
Every day, yeah.
Because we all live like a couple blocks within each other.
Yeah.
Or in the same town.
Yeah.
And it became a thing of like, yo, sleep was like, it was just cool to be up late.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's something like,
And it carried over.
yeah, and then in the moment you don't realize it, like, but as you get older, now I'm seeing the side effects of it, right?
Ooh,
like,
yeah, straight
because
up.
sleep is the biggest thing. Like, if you're lacking sleep, you're not gonna have a good workout.
Yeah.
If you're lacking sleep, you're not gonna be able to stick to your diet as well.
Your mental's gonna be
Your
off.
mental's all fucked up.
Your
And, like,
circadian rhythm is fucked up.
Exactly, yeah.
Let's say you go to sleep at 3,
Yeah.
you gotta wake up at 9, or you gotta wake up at 7 for work.
Yeah.
Fuck it, you do those 4 hours, you go to work. You may not wake up till maybe mid-afternoon.
Yeah, bro.
Like you'll just be on autopilot.
Yeah.
You brush your teeth, you change, you're driving. You're not even alive.
All throughout my working career, like especially like once I became a store manager at Walgreens, I have like when I would come home, the moment I hit the bed, I'm like physically tired, but mentally, because of all that unprocessed stuff, it's always like your head is always going. So like back in the day, like I had to be at the store like at 7 a.m. but I'm not going to sleep like till 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So my whole life I've been running on 3 hours of sleep, and now I realize like how much of a negative effect that made now.
So when I got my master's last year.
Oh yeah, you were not sleeping.
2024 September up until 2025.
He's like, let me throw it in there. I got my master's.
When was it? 2024, 2025. I did a 1-year program.
Yeah.
So I was going to do my master's. I was working in a warehouse full time, and I was going to the gym. So that was such a crazy time in my life because you're juggling so many classes.
Yeah.
And it's only 6-week classes. So you have a semester.
Yeah.
A certain amount of weeks. Half the semester is 4 classes. The next half is another 4.
Okay.
So sleep cooked.
Yeah.
Then at the same time, I'm working in a warehouse.
A physical
at
job.
8 a.m.
Yeah.
So 8 a.m. I'm at the warehouse. I leave. I go to the gym at like 5 or 4 or 5. Come home, shower.
Yeah.
And then I'd go to school.
Yeah.
And I would do that for pretty much a year.
It did. And even then, like you would think like a normal person after all that, you'd be able to come home and fall asleep.
You can't.
But no,
bro,
you can't. Like just the way our minds were, like it's always going.
At least then you'd be mentally exhausted enough to fall asleep.
Oh, okay.
Because I would do so many presentations and so much work.
Yeah.
That I was too exhausted.
Yeah. See, for
But
me,
now,
even during school, I wasn't able to get.
If you have a good balance and routine,
and
you're like, yo, I can manage my work really well. I can manage the gym really well.
Yeah.
But then when you hit that bed, you're cooked. Your body could be tired, but your brain is still going.
Yeah.
And that's like the worst feeling.
Yeah. And it goes back to finding that balance, right?
Yeah.
Like you have to Like just like we're pushing in the gym, you have to do something the same when it comes to mental, right?
Yeah.
Like
So for me, melatonin. It was melatonin.
Oh yeah, for me, mirtazapine, which is like the prescription version of it. But bro, like I can tell you like how bad I got. Like you're supposed to get like my dose was like 7.5 milligrams, but at one point I was like taking 10 pills at a time.
Yeah, Rahan be wild.
Bro, yeah, I was doing like 75 milligrams
just to knock out.
But I still wouldn't knock out.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That was a problem because my mind was just like racing all the time. And till I mean, I still have issues with it.
Yeah.
But now I'm trying to get a little bit better because now I realize like why my mind was always going.
Because
anxiety from all these like unresolved trauma and everything that I was just trying to push aside and forget about. So subconsciously I knew that stuff was there, but in the moment like, oh my God, why can't I fall asleep? I went to work, I worked out, I did everything I was supposed to, and I still can't fall asleep.
No, I said it to him today. I was like, the worst is you wake up, you do all your work, you do everything you need to do, and as you're going to bed, you get all these fucking bright ideas, bro.
Yeah.
I get the brightest ideas at 2 a.m. in the morning when I was trying to sleep at 11.
Yeah.
And you're up, and last night, right, I'm like, you know what, I'm not going to even close my eyes. Because when I close my eyes, I'm like, envisioning shit, like in terms of like my work or whatever, maybe your ideas. Like I got a whole content shoot in my head. So I open my eyes and stare at the ceiling in the dark. I'm like, hopefully I'll fall asleep now. I'm just staring at the ceiling. Couldn't fall asleep.
Yeah, for me, like
read a book. Couldn't fall asleep. Had rain noises on. Couldn't fall asleep. Took magnesium glycinate and L-theanine to calm myself down, which are just normal supplements. Couldn't fall asleep. I took a warm shower before I got in bed. I'm saying like, I did everything right. Can I just go to sleep now, bro? I went to the gym too. I was sore as shit. Body's exhausted. Couldn't go to sleep. And then at one point I ended up I don't even remember when I knocked out. Knocked out.
That's
you don't remember.
That's always been my problem. I don't fall asleep naturally. I just like wait for myself to get so exhausted that my whole life I've never been like, oh, let me get ready for bed.
And
like
now I'm trying
it was just kind of like, oh, I'll knock out when I knock out. But I think like now I like trying to make it a routine.
But I swear it's some age shit. You know why it's some age shit? Because when you're 18, 19, you can manage it. Like your body just manages it.
Oh, see, for me, I've always struggled with that.
No, but like at 18, 19, like you can deal with having less sleep. Like if I remember myself when I'm younger, like bro, I would have
that's true,
little to no sleep. I'll go hoop, I'll go gym, I'll go do whatever.
Oh yeah, because you naturally have more energy and stuff like that.
But then when you get to a certain age,
like if my age now, like if I'm not getting,
it's more like priorities too. Like you want to be locked in on your priorities.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, I remember my point from a while ago. I'm sorry. Okay. If you're trying to figure yourself out and you're struggling to talk about it, the best thing you can do is imagine you have to figure something out for work. So let's say you have to do a presentation at work and you have to solve these issues for the company. Imagine you're your own company and you have to solve your own issues. Okay, what are the financial issues? What are the physical issues? What are the mental issues that are going on in the company and around the company? Imagine that in yourself and work on those things. Take yourself as your own project because you are just a project throughout your whole life. And that's the best way to view yourself. And that's the best way as a video game, you keep upgrading yourself. Get your XP up by working on yourself and hold off on the missions. You know when you do side quests as well? Yo, do the side quests. Like when you stopped working, you went and did the side quests. You traveled, you did shit.
And that helps.
That helps.
I like the way
the side quests.
I like the way you mentioned like treat it like work. So like that's something that I've been trying to do a lot
because
more.
That's what we've been taught.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because that's what I was always good at. Like when it came to my job, I was always good at that one aspect. When I couldn't handle everything else, I always was able to manage that.
But culture is a little bit like that, right?
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, because that's what we're trained.
School, work, these kind of things. If you apply,
because that's the only thing our parents ever talked about was go to school and get a good job. That's it. Like if that's all I was taught, so I'm like, oh, that's what I'm trained to do.
So then when you forget yourself, use those same skills to apply to yourself.
So that's what I'm trying to do now. So like at Walgreens, anytime we had an issue and everything, we always wanted to deep dive into it, right? So the question we always asked was, find the why behind it. Right? So like that's what I'm trying to do. Like when I have an issue, I'm like, okay, this is the issue. Why am I having this issue? And then from that why, then I can come up with the next steps. Because that's how I was trained at work. So that's what I literally write it down like that. Okay, issue, find the why behind it, and then I'm like, all right, actionable next steps. And now with the next steps, I put deadlines with it.
And now it's perfect because you do it yourself.
Exactly.
And to be honest, something I took into my work life was that thinking because since like 16, 17, I've been very much understanding. Like I, as a human being, am a personal project.
Yeah.
I've been like more spiritually aware from a younger age.
Yeah.
So I kind of took that teaching that I taught myself into work.
That's good. Yeah. I learned the opposite way.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people have, because it's never a conversation. But I had kind of an experience at a younger age where I toked, and then I had a bad toke experience, greened out.
Gotcha.
And then after greening out for like 3 days, I was just like, it changed me.
Yeah.
In terms of like, yo, it was weird as fuck, right?
You know what? It's crazy that you said that, because growing up, I didn't smoke at all, right? Because at first I was trying to go to state police and all that.
Yeah.
So I smoked like a few times in high school, like, like everybody does. But I didn't do it again till I was way out of college, till like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And I think I really decided to like make myself a project when I started smoking.
Yeah.
So I know like there's obviously a bunch of side effects and everybody should do it on their own like risk and everything. But if I didn't smoke, I probably would still be in the same patterns.
I think, okay, so
like it does unlock something.
So weed is a weird thing because it brings you self-awareness, but at a cost.
Oh, of course,
and it should be dosed like everything else.
Exactly,
properly. And I don't think it's something that should be abused.
Yeah.
And I think I can only say that after having the experience I had with it throughout my teens and 20s, where it did bring me spiritual awareness in terms of like, yo, fucking, I woke up.
Yeah.
It was weird as I'm sitting there outside the bench of school.
That's literally what you feel like.
Fucking sitting there hearing the birds. The coloration on my eyes and the way the world looked was a little bit different.
Yeah.
It's mad weird. It sounds so stupid. It sounds stupid as shit.
I'm sure people that have done it, they know exactly what we're talking about.
But what it did was, it was like, it allowed me to see like things differently.
Yeah, of course.
I think people who don't smoke, you can kind of tell, they're very much linear. There's no like sides, which is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Because if I had asked myself,
if it works for you, that's fine.
It works for you. But if you've done it enough, you get to a point where it opens something and it breaks something. It's like a give or take.
Yeah, especially like if you have trauma and stuff from when you were younger.
Low key.
So when you smoke, it does help. Like the first time, as an adult, when I smoked, when I smoked, it did like it forced me to look at some of the traumas and stuff that I was trying to push aside.
Yeah.
So if I didn't smoke, I wouldn't have come to the same conclusion and stuff that I am now. So like I would never made myself a priority if I didn't start smoking.
I think with weed, if you were trying it for the first time and stuff, you're gonna experience sometimes that paranoia and anxiety.
Oh, that's normal.
When you have unresolved things going on.
Yeah.
Mental headspace matters when it comes to weed.
But it's about
but I think
finding yourself within that anxiety, because the anxiety is coming from somewhere, right?
Yes.
Like now I'm at the point when I smoke, it's more for calming reasons.
But I also think the downside of weed and the devil in the details is that it's also numbing.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
And that's where it gets bad. Because, if you do weed the right way, then you're going to see things about yourself that you have blocked away from you, right?
Yeah.
And it may bring those things up. And you became more self-aware.
Yeah.
And you may become more one with nature or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you're abusing it and you're using it as a coping mechanism, which a lot of people do, especially when you're doing it every single day, you're always on it, that's the downside. Because what happens is you're putting yourself so to the side, you're medicating yourself.
Right. And I can speak to that, right? So when I started again last year, really, when I really got back into it, in the beginning, it was very helpful because it made me like I started like processing all the trauma and everything, started writing like all the issues that I had. But the problem was, since I was continuously smoking like multiple times a day, then I became too much involved in just the issues.
Yeah.
But that's when you really need to find your dosage, or in my situation, like I really had to stop to be like, okay, now I kind of found out what the issues were. I've kind of processed those traumas. Let's now put in the next steps to kind of move forward from that.
Yeah, I don't think it should be.
Yeah, you can't constantly do it because
I don't think you should constantly be on it.
Because obviously, like, weed does help you, like, kind of like you said, escape. But then if you're so much into that other thing, then you kind of forget, like...
It's a big social discussion right now, too, about weed. And I think, especially with dispensary weed, it's not as...
It's definitely more important than...
I don't think that's good. And
that's what I'm saying, yeah.
I think before, funnily enough, when it was illegal, it was actually better.
I mean, honestly, for me, I've tried both. Again, I think it's about that person and finding your dosage.
I agree.
That's the biggest thing, like finding your dosage.
I think the quality of
I mean, if anything, I felt like the quality's got better. Yeah, definitely way stronger. But if I was doing dispensary weed when I was 17, when my mind couldn't handle it, I see what you're talking about. Then it's overwhelming. Yeah. But now as an adult where I don't have I'm over like those anxieties and like, paranoia. I don't have that. So now I'm able to process a little bit better.
And I also say, depending on the person, weed can turn you into a straight lazy bum.
Oh yeah, and I've gone through that too.
Yeah, it can make you eat too much. Yeah. It can make you get out of the gym.
Yeah.
It can make you lackadaisical.
Yeah.
It can make you just binge Netflix and YouTube and TV. Yeah. And for some people, it's actually upper, if they're doing sativas or whatever, and they can actually be more productive off it.
Yeah.
Like I have a friend who does better when they're off it, So it's really a person-to-person thing.
Yeah.
And it's their own experience.
Yeah, for me, like, I was always in sativas, always go like, I was like, oh, let me be more productive. But then I realized I was also smoking at night, and that's not helpful, because then your brain's always up and going.
I'll say another thing.
Then I try to change it to like hybrids.
When it comes to sleeping, that's another thing.
Yeah, because you're up, but then when you crash for a long time.
I think...
Because the next day, waking up, like I can speak to that, because the weed is so strong. Like when you wake up the next day, you're gonna wake up feeling groggy and exhausted.
Yeah.
Because obviously, like your mind is going so much on weed that's energy being used.
Yeah.
So obviously, when you're waking up the next day, you feel drained.
And if you are using weed to go to sleep,
again, it's all about dosage. 2, 1. All right, I think the last thing we're talking about is sleep, so I kind of want to divert into that because like we said,
I don't know, how did we end that? We took a pause, bathroom break. I don't know how we ended the sleep.
Yeah.
We were talking about like taking things forward and all that stuff. I'm trying to take magnesium glycinate, L-theanine, and all that. And I think if you watch the Joe Rogan podcast with, I don't remember what the doctor's name is.
Yeah, we literally talked about it. So if you watch our last podcast, episode 5, I did clip the episode.
Yeah.
So people can go back and look at it.
If you watch that podcast, you'll get so much of a deeper dive on the effects of sleep.
Yeah.
And how it actually can ruin your brain health and mental health.
And the sleep is the most important thing when it comes to like building your physical and mental health.
Yeah.
It plays a big role in everything.
Recovery, you need the mental recovery, the fatigue recovery.
If you're not sleeping good, you're not going to have good workouts. Like I said, you're not going to be able to stick to your diet because obviously your body needs energy.
Or if you're trying to, the sleep may inflict it and actually make you more susceptible to getting sick and things like that, which may have been my problem where I was getting sick more. And that could be from, having shit sleep and coping with things that maybe I shouldn't be coping with. And then that turns into immune system deficencies.
Yeah.
Even if you're taking your vitamins and shit like that, your body's just like crashing.
Oh, of course.
I think that was my biggest thing, which I'm trying to fix now by having a better sleep schedule.
Yeah. What are you trying now you think might help? I know you said you're still having troubles, but obviously I know you said vitamins and stuff like that.
So it'll be like, I'll do an hour before I needed to go to sleep, which I'm saying, okay, I'm going to get my work done and I'm going to try to go to sleep like 11:30. Okay, cool. I've already went to the gym. I already had my dinner. And then I'm going to take my shower. I'm going to take my magnesium glycinate, L-theanine, right? Trying to get off melatonins.
Okay.
And then I'm going to put whatever noise I need on, right? Yeah. And I'm going to try to just set myself up for bed.
Okay.
So it's just about setting yourself up.
Yeah.
And not being on the screen.
Yeah. So that's the biggest thing. That's what I was going to get at. I'm like, the biggest thing like I struggle with is that I cannot fall asleep unless the TV is on. And that's a bad habit that I made since I was a kid. And that's something I'm trying to change now. So like, an hour before bed, I'm going to try now to, again, I'm giving advice that I'm not really following, but I know I should.
It's the right advice though.
It's the right advice. So what I'm really trying to do now is turn off my TV at least an hour before. Yeah. What I've done on my phone is
the warm light setting.
There's a red light filter.
Yeah.
It's red light filter.
Yeah.
So like 2 clicks, I made it a shortcut. So I click it. So even if I'm on my phone with a red light, it's a little bit better for your eyes.
In college, I did a study on this, the effects of blue light before sleeping, and the effect on your cornea and your mental health.
Yeah.
And even though I wrote this essay, it was like a 5-10 page essay, I don't follow the advice.
That's the hardest problem is following it because obviously we're so addicted to our phones nowadays.
The blue light literally is fucking up your circadian rhythm and making your brain believe it's still daytime. So doing the night light setting or warm light setting on your devices may help, especially when you need to fall asleep to something. That lighting will, I swear, when you're on LED versus when you're on warm light, your eyes shift.
Oh, of course.
Because it's percepting the rays differently.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So if, like, another thing, usually before I go to sleep, I'll play like 2 games of Madden But the problem is in Madden, you'll have daytime settings, like 1 p.m. game in Madden.
Yeah, I got you.
And now your brain's thinking it's daytime in the video game.
Exactly, yeah.
So now you got blue light.
Yeah.
And then
all this artificial light's really messing with
us. And then the game
circadian
has sunlight in it.
Yeah.
So now your brain's probably thinking like, yo, like, I'm looking at the screen as daytime, even though it's nighttime.
Yeah.
Your brain's like fucking.
Yeah, even though you know it's not real, but your brain doesn't process it like that.
Perceiving it that way.
Of course, because brain is just taking information from the outside and the light and everything.
Yeah, so now I'll dim my TVOD if I do, and then I'll put like I can't make it. You can make it a nighttime game, but not in the setting I'm playing.
One thing I learned from I think Andrew Huberman podcast, I think he had an expert on too, like putting a red light in your room.
Yeah,
like red light lamps. That apparently really helps.
I used to have that.
Yeah, that's what I want to.
It went out.
Yeah, that's what I want to get at now.
Yeah,
like get red lights in my room and install them like at 7 p.m. starting. Just change it to red light.
So I had a because
that would mentally get your mind ready to go to sleep.
So I had a lamp, and I bought a bulb for it like 5-6 years ago.
Oh, okay.
This bulb lasted me 5-6 years.
Oh, okay.
Really good quality.
Yeah.
It was a really warm light.
Okay.
It wasn't fully red.
Okay.
But it was like really orange.
Okay, got you. Yeah.
And that would be my. I'd have it on.
Yeah.
I don't even know it's on. Like it's on.
Yeah.
But then my brain, without knowing, would already perceive it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So that's what he said. It's like 3 hours before you're about to sleep. Turn on all the other lights. Try to make your room. Another thing. Try to make your room like blackout curtains are amazing for that. Because, that would help like any light coming in.
Yeah.
Especially like my also problem was sometimes I'll fall asleep but wake up.
Yeah.
Right? Because I didn't have any shades in my room. So any little light that came in.
Night.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that definitely helps. Any bad habits that they're still messing with your sleep? Again, for me, the biggest thing is the TV.
The phone.
The TV. For me, it's TV. Like
it's the wind down.
Yeah.
The wind down when you're working all day and then you're winding down with reels and shit is cooking you.
Yeah. I try not to do reels now, but even like with YouTube videos and stuff,
it's cooking.
I realize it's not good because your mind is like trying to obviously it's trying to take in the information.
Yeah, it's just
I'm like that's not a good thing. So I think what's worked better for me recently is instead of white noise, brown noise.
Brown noise is
brown
really
noise is actually very good to fall asleep to.
That's what's recommended when it comes to falling
exactly,
asleep.
Yeah, which I didn't know before. Yeah. So any viewers out there, like, Spotify has a bunch of playlists, YouTube. I think Spotify is the best thing. And there's another hack I recently found, which I don't know why I did not know before. So if you set a timer on your phone, you can time it to turn off all your music and stuff too. So it's not constantly going.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so if you go in your iPhone timer, and you set the timer, there's an option right underneath. It's like, stop playing.
Yeah.
So if you change it to that, let's say I put a half an hour timer, it actually turns off the music too.
That's cool.
Yeah, I just learned it the other day from a podcast.
You're right. And the best thing I'd recommend is just calming yourself down as much as possible.
Yeah. A lot of people say don't even have the phone in the room, which I think is such a tough thing to do. But like Andrew Huberman said, he doesn't keep the phone in the room at all.
They don't have a TV in the room. Yeah. They don't have their PC in the room. The other thing is the reason why is it's the frequencies. Yeah. These things are giving off frequencies
even when they're off.
Even when they're off.
Yeah.
If they're plugged in, they're going to give off frequencies.
Yeah.
The only way to resolve that would be unplugging everything.
Yeah.
Because there's a thing called grounding sheets as well.
Yeah.
Which is the vibration of outside, like the earth.
Yeah.
That is going to help you and actually rehabilitate your body as well overnight if you get grounding sheets. Yeah. Or you take a copper wire, you run your copper wire into the ground with a metal pole, and it conducts the energy from the ground into your bed sheets in your bed, and that's good too. But the other thing is, if this has a frequency that's really high, when you put it to your ear, it's really bad for your brain. If it's on and it's hot, on hot days, it's by your leg, it's affecting this region as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that are affecting you that you can't see or feel, but are happening.
Yeah. I think start with the basics, right? Like turn off your TV at night. Like obviously grounding and stuff, some things like
are more extreme
and get expensive.
Maybe try unplugging some things.
Yeah.
Maybe
I think the biggest thing is
don't keep your phone by your head.
Yeah, keep your phone as far away as
on
possible.
On a side table.
Yeah.
Different part.
I think what will help. I know a lot of people are like, you have an alarm and stuff. Get a manual clock.
Get a manual clock.
That
put
would
your
help.
alarm on the other side of the room.
Yeah.
So you have to get up and go turn it off.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which is another thing. But these solutions are they're hard to do because you want your phone next to you. And you're going to go to sleep on your phone.
Yeah, trust me, you're not really missing out on much. After 10 p.m., nobody really should be hitting you up, especially on a work day, right?
Whoa.
Yeah. Like now what I try to do is put a do not disturb.
International shawties?
I mean, yeah. Well, they can wait till the next day.
Can they?
Yeah, because after say 8 p.m., I have it on do not disturb.
But what if that's their time when they're awake? You gotta
that's fine. They gotta work on my time, not theirs. You know what I mean?
Peep game.
Yeah.
Anyways, nice.
Yeah, don't change yourself for nobody. All right.
You get your beauty sleep, kid.
Exactly. That's more important. You attract more shorties down the line. I felt weird saying shorties. Too old to be using that.
Come on.
Yeah, no, too weird to be.
You both of you were single.
Thank you. Wait, what?
Both of you were single.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I thought she said that's.
I'm not single.
I thought she said that's why you guys are single.
I'm not single. I'm married to the game.
Yeah, all right. So I know we talked about sleep. I know we kind of hit upon the fact like therapy, especially in the brown culture. I'm ready.
Halftime break got him cooking.
Yeah, these zins are cooking now.
I don't know what he's cooking.
The neurons are firing. All right.
They got us.
Yeah, so we kind of touched base upon the fact like therapy, right? Especially in the brown culture, that's not really a thing, right? What are your views on therapy? Against it, for it, have you ever tried it?
I have not tried it. I've done a lot of self-therapy, like I mentioned, with the voice memos and recording myself and journaling, whatever it may be, right? Mm-hmm. I think therapy is looked down upon. I've never experienced therapy with an actual therapist, so I don't know how it would be.
Okay.
But I'm not saying it's not worth a shot, though.
Yeah. So for me, I've done it. So I've done like psychiatrists and therapists. So I think the biggest thing with that is finding a person that you could bond with. Because like I tried therapy sessions, but they were like Zoom. Again, every person is different. Some people do work like that. Majority of them are online now, right? It's not working for me because for me to open up to somebody, I needed that face-to-face connection, like that personal connection. Yeah. So I didn't get that from the therapist. But when I was going to my psychiatrist and it was like one-on-one sessions with her, that really did help me open up. Because there were things like I think therapy is super underrated, especially in our culture. I think that's something that I know it's looked down upon, but it really shouldn't. Because especially in our culture, like ideally, you would open up to your friends and family first, but we don't really talk about those situations in our family at all. So for me, for the longest time, I had everything bottled up because, I'm a man, that's how I'm supposed to be. But once I started going to the psychiatrist and opening up, I realized like how helpful that was. And I wouldn't have made the strides that I am now. Like now I'm not doing like therapists or psychiatrists anymore. Now I'm doing more of the self-therapy that you're talking about. But in order for me to get to that point, I first had to open up to somebody. I think it does really help.
I think the biggest thing is sometimes relying on your friends too much is a problem because they have their own stuff going on too.
Yeah.
So you don't want to emotionally overload somebody because there's a great video where it's like two people and one person's very bottled up and they're colored red.
Yeah.
And now this person is taking all their energy and then they're putting on this person and that person has to then manage and give back advice.
Yeah.
But they're holding on to what you said to them. And sometimes it can be hard for a friend to constantly hear what their friend is going through. And I also think it's almost, if you're going through something very heavy, it's depending on the friends you have, sometimes you don't want to always go to that person, put that down feeling on
of course.
Time as well.
And I think that depends on the relationship that you have with the person. Yeah. And that's why I think at first, especially if it's like some real trauma and everything, that's why I think it helps to go to a person that's not related. Because you could open up to, because I was able to open up to the psychiatrist more openly than I was to my sisters or even my partner at that time. Like I started talking to my partner about my issues after I went to the psychiatrist and opened up to, because then they made me realize like, oh, it's okay. I'm not saying overload them because you can't constantly talk about that because obviously, like you said, people have their own issues going on. But I think if you make time and place, like for example, even this for now, us is therapy, right? Because like we're opening up our personal stuff. Like I've never talked about my relationships with everybody here, but now I feel more comfortable, right? Again, it depends on the relationship that you have with a person.
I think the other thing is, to an extent, we've hinted on this before, but every person is going to have their own tolerance when it comes to self things.
Yeah.
So if you are going through something, someone may handle it better. Someone may be more mentally adept. I know, if you're red pilled to an extent, there's, some Andrew Tate clips or just some clips from those guys where it's like, therapies for pussies, blah, blah, whatever, where it's like you get over your own shit.
Yeah.
But then
but every person's different.
Every person's different.
For example, like you said.
But sometimes that message can hit you and you can be like, man, you know what? All the shit I'm going through is not that fucking deep. Yeah. So for somebody, they'll be like, you don't fucking need therapy. Just fucking lock in. And then they can be like, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to just lock in, bro. Yeah. All that shit happened to happen. I'm going to just fucking move on. For some people, that works.
Yeah.
Sometimes in my life, that works too. Where it's like, man, fuck it. Like I'm not saying just Andrew Tate as his message, but I'm saying more just the message itself. Like maybe the receiver, some people may not like, but personally, like sometimes some things Andrew Tate says is good. But even so, I'll take what he says.
But he also promotes like being healthy, eating healthy, working out. That's also a form of therapy.
Exactly.
That's also a form of therapy.
For some people, it's like, yo, if I tell a guy like he's going through it and he's down about his girl, whatever, I'd be like, yo, fucking lock in, bro. And then, you may see a change and they be better. But for some people, if they're going through something personal that's more serious or very deep, then locking in is not the only option. Because maybe they are locked in, but maybe they need to get out of being locked in and more focus on themselves.
Yeah, and that's what I can speak on, right?
So maybe that's where therapy would help.
Yeah, being like, if it's a financial thing, it's easy to lock in. But when it's more of a mental thing, I think sometimes you got to talk about it first.
Yeah.
And again, you can't always consistently talk about it. You have to talk about it and then find those next steps to kind of move on from that.
Yeah, take action.
Yeah, the biggest thing I can tell anybody is that just talking about it is not going to help anything till you actually put in physical next steps to change those things.
So I say, I haven't posted the video, but there's a video where I talk about, when you get out of either a breakup or you lose a job or things are going on in your family or a divorce or you're widowed, whatever it may be, right? Or something's happening with your sister or sibling and they have something going on and it's very deep. The first thing to do is acknowledge how you feel about it, what's going on, and, it's going to hurt.
Yeah.
From there, you're going to go, okay, where did I do something wrong, right?
Yeah.
Because there's always two parties to everything.
Of course, yeah.
And maybe along the lines, you made a mistake or something and acknowledge that. Even if it was 100% your fault, find the silver lining to where you can be better.
Yeah.
And then take action on those things.
Yeah.
And that's probably the path to being able to heal yourself from things where it's like, fuck, man, this didn't work out. I wanted it to work out. It didn't.
Yeah.
Then you go, okay, where did I fuck up? Because, even if, let's say, something bad happened to you or maybe you got cheated on, whatever it may be, you can go, you know what, maybe there was something I did that allowed somebody to do that to me.
Yeah, of course.
Or allowed somebody to do that to the person I love.
Yeah.
Or, if someone's going through divorce, right?
Yeah.
So for you, it's about acknowledgement, acceptance, acknowledgement, acceptance, and then learning your next steps to then become better from it, and then forgive that part of your life, but not forget, but have it healed.
Yeah.
Everything in your life is gonna be like a piece of you broke.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to weld it back together.
Yeah.
Now the quality you weld it at is gonna be the quality you're gonna carry with you.
Exactly.
And I think that's the best way to look at it. Imagine yourself as a glass that's constantly breaking. But this glass can be welded back together and put back together even more beautiful than before.
Exactly.
But it just depends how you put yourself back together.
Yeah. I agree with that. All right. So going a little bit into like topics of like, so what are some things that you're still trying to figure out? What are like your things that you're working on currently? Things that you're struggling with that you were trying to hope to change? For
me, it's all based on this economy and stuff. It's always been the financial.
Yeah.
Where like physical and mental, I can lock in and figure out.
Okay.
If I need to go to the gym and get big, I've already done it before.
Yeah,
I've already been really in a good shape before. I can do that again.
Yeah.
I've already been, when it came to basketball, like I can be good at it again if I put time
Of course,
into it.
yeah.
When it comes to my mental, I have my own routine, spirituality, and all that stuff where I can go get back to that, get back with God and, pray every day and be like, okay, I'm good.
Okay.
So those things I can do once I get back in routine and I know how to do that.
Okay.
When it comes to financial, you have a degree in computer science, you have a degree in your master's in business, but the economy is not giving you a job, no matter how many times you apply, even with referrals. So it's like, okay, FPM.
Yeah.
The F is struggling.
Yeah, okay.
So the F is probably the thing where, I started my business, stuff like that, and that's what I'm trying to grow.
Okay.
But even growing a business is hard.
Of course.
And in this economy with, the cost of things going up, it becomes harder for business to outreach and get things done from, companies and stuff like that because they want to manage their costs.
Yeah, everybody's holding their own tighter to their wallets for sure.
Wallets. So it's growing a company is a hard thing.
Yeah.
And something that I'm really happy and passionate about and I've loved to do. And I definitely see like where it can go and what I can do. And that's kind of what I've been working on. And I'm really happy with the stage I am in my life right now, where I went through a lot, figured it out, went through a lot, figured it out again, going through a lot, figuring it out now, and then getting back into financial and going, okay, how can I upgrade myself in this department, in all departments?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I'm single, so I have the ability to have more time with myself and become better overall and make sure that, my life is good, how I'm treating my siblings is good, my relationship with my family, my friends, my cousins, that all those bases are covered as best as I can. You can't lose yourself in that. But then also going, okay, there's things I want. I want to be able to have my own place. I want to be able to, travel and pay for things and do these things. How can I get as rich as possible and financially free as possible? For me, I have very big goals when it comes to financials.
Yeah.
And I've always seen myself in that light.
Yeah.
And I've kind of had so much outside validation on that topic where it came to like, oh, I see Ali like this, that, and that. where it kind of motivated me to be able to see myself in that light of like, without pressuring myself in the wrong way, like I have an expectation of myself to be successful.
Yeah.
And
I think, that's just a Daisy thing too.
yeah,
We all have high expectations.
And I don't,
when it comes to that.
but I don't want it to be a blockage.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I need to be successful, and if I don't, I'm a failure, blah, blah, blah. Where it's more like, I'm going to have fun with it and let it happen, and I'm going to develop my skills and get there.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I see that. And
I think that's the right way to say it. For sure.
And
that's the right way to go about it.
Yeah. Have fun
Because if you're not
everything.
having fun at what you're doing, then it's not worth it, right?
Yeah.
Like, for me, the financial was set, but then I had to take a break from that because my mental and physical just wasn't there, especially my mental.
Yeah.
So like over the last year, my mental health has been my priority. I feel like I've gotten a way better hold at it, especially now. I know that because I would never be able to openly talk about it like I am now with you and now sharing it with the public. If you asked me that last year to do that, I would never be able to open up. So now I think my mental is there where I know like, especially when I go into those deep holes, I know how to bring myself back out.
Which is that emotional regulation.
Exactly. So I've finally done that, getting better at it now, still working on it day to day. And then the next thing is now for me is the physical health.
Yeah.
Because especially the last few months, I really let myself go, which is okay. Like in the moment, it was tough to think about it, but I realized like, okay, I cannot prioritize everything at once. I mean, I can't focus on everything being perfect at once. So I'm like, okay, it's okay to let my physical go.
Yeah.
In order to build my mental. Now that I have my mental kind of like
go back on
balanced, now
stuff.
Physical is next, and then it's financial for me. Because financial is something obviously that's always on top of my mind, especially when you had it and not have it. It's hard because like I was able to do whatever I wanted, and now I have to be a little bit more cautious of like my spending and stuff like that. Luckily thank God, like I've been in a good place where even within the last year not working, I've still been able to do whatever I wanted. But now I realize like, okay, in order for me to go back, and because obviously we want to keep doing better, right? Better vacations, better better life,
you need the money for
better
it.
balance, and you need the money for it. But I know like the sacrifice I had to make,
it was worth it.
Yeah, I had to take that step back. Like they say, sometimes you have to take one step back to go 3 steps forward. I'm in that point in my life now. So over the next few months, physical health is my biggest priority. And then obviously simultaneously working on the financial thing too.
Yeah. And I think you have to be able to diagnose where you're at. And
One thing I could tell everybody is like, no matter where your step is, if something feels wrong, sometimes it's okay to like step away from, even if things are working, like, like financially, if you do have a good job and stuff, but if you don't feel fulfilled, it's okay to sometimes take that risk and spend that time on yourself. Because the longer you wait, the harder it's going to get. Like, then life comes, especially once you get married and kids, the responsibilities are so much more. It's harder to come back. And that's when you really see the numbers really jump up for like men's in depression and suicide rates go up the older that you get. Because there's more of a stress on you.
And I think that's why it's important to be able to break down where you're at, what you need to do.
And in order to do that, you got to take some time to yourself. So
but for me, it was more about, the outcome of how things played out. So like you get your computer science degree. And when I got it, when I first got into the major, it was like, yo, the best time to get in.
Of course, everybody's looking for that.
That was 2019. I went to college and it was like, yo, computer science is the degree. By the time I graduated, AI had already started coming out and plummeting the tech industry. Now the tech industry is fucking shit pretty much in terms of getting opportunities.
Of course. And honestly,
and the job market itself.
Because I've been applying for months. Like I tried to like send my resume out to 2 to 3 different jobs. I've taken time off before from work. And when I came back, there were multiple jobs lined up. Now it's completely different. Now, like I have years of experience. Like Ali's a little bit harder because he couldn't even get a certain entry job.
That's the hard part.
For me, I had the experience and I still couldn't get into jobs because obviously I'm looking for like a higher level position, and obviously those are limited, and obviously there's the job market is just shit right now.
And then I went to go get my master's. Like, okay, let me counteract the market with getting a different degree and pairing them together, which seemed like the smart idea. Got my master's in 1 year, which is hard as hell. Did that, came first in a bunch of different competitions, and then I'm like, okay, let's start applying now, and it got even worse. So the market got even worse.
The job market has been the worst. Like I've always been like hiring and stuff. I've never been. I've always been recruiting and stuff too. Never had an issue as I have now.
So
I've never seen the job market this bad.
So now,
at least in my lifetime.
So now it's like you got 2 degrees. You're qualified.
Yeah.
But because I'm young and don't have the experience in jobs, I've had internships and stuff.
Yeah.
I can't get anything.
Yeah,
so
of
then
course, yeah.
it's
Because everybody requires you to have experience, but they're not even hiring
no one's giving
entry levels anymore.
Because entry levels all getting offshore.
Yeah, exactly.
So then it's like, okay, Ali, you got your 2 degrees and you have no job to show for it.
Yeah.
So let's start a business, right? And
I think in the long run, you're going to see that's going to be the best route for you, because there's nothing better than having your own business. Like that's my next step, like, building my own business and stuff.
And why also we started this, because we've had similar outlooks on things, and then we wanted to start a podcast.
Yeah, because it might open up other opportunities that we don't even know they exist yet.
But it was also something that I've always wanted to do, which is make content.
Yeah, same.
And I think if I didn't, I would regret that.
Yeah.
So for me, making content was almost like me fulfilling something from when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Because when I was like in middle school, I used to play Black Ops 2.
Yeah.
And I started recording off my phone to
nice.
record my gameplay.
Wow.
And I'd
like
post
early,
it.
yeah,
like 1 or 2 videos. I remember me and my boy.
We gotta find those videos.
There's only 1 video.
Okay.
I went crazy that game too, MP7. And then, but back in the day, me and my boy, we wanted to start something, but we never really got into it because we were too young. And then I've always thought about that.
Same.
I'm like, yo, I wish I made content, because if I don't, I'll end up regretting it.
Yeah.
So doing this is fulfilling something.
Yeah, me
which
too.
I'm really glad about.
Yeah, same. I've always wanted, because I always wanted to make my own brand. Even when I was working for companies, I knew that I wanted to make my own brand and stuff like that. But at that time, I just didn't pull the trigger.
Yeah.
But so now, luckily, as unfortunate as it is to not have a job and everything, I'm like, oh, maybe this is my sign to like, oh, this is finally my time to really do what I wanted to do.
And I'm with you on.
So things do happen for a reason. Like me and Ali, like we've talked about separately making content, but he went through something, I was going through something, and it was just a perfect time to be like, oh, why not just do this?
On a whim.
On a whim, yeah, literally like, and I think it came from a conversation where you just called me randomly one day and we talked for an hour.
I remember this.
Yeah, we just talked for an hour and then like 2 days later, at least like
very recent too.
Yeah, it was like 2 weeks before we did the podcast.
And in that span of 2 weeks, we've made 7 episodes.
Yeah, within 2 weeks.
Yeah,
within 2 weeks, and I've honestly having so much fun doing it.
Yeah, it's been a fun process.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's been a fulfilling process too.
Yeah. So anybody out there that obviously feels kind of lost and stuff like that, but like focus on things that you like to do. And then I think you'll find your avenues.
And if you have something that you wanted to do since you were young and didn't do,
just do it.
Please do it.
Yeah.
Because honestly, don't
worry about the money. Don't worry about the money. Because if you're doing something that you like, you'll find ways to make money in it.
Just do it. Because you're going to end up regretting if you don't. And it becomes worse. Because then you'll end up living like, man, there's no reason to say wish. You might as well have just done it or do it now.
And take it from somebody that had the career job and still didn't feel fulfilled. Like on paper, I had everything what a successful person would be looking for, but I just didn't feel fulfilled.
Yeah. And take it from somebody who couldn't make anything work.
Yeah.
Tried multiple businesses himself, tried to get all the degrees, and then is now trying this now. So it's like you have to keep going. Like you have to keep trying.
Yeah.
No matter how many times you fail, you will never find the end of the rainbow until you keep searching.
Yeah, I know it's tough to say, but I know because I've been in those positions where it's easier to quit sometimes, or it's easier to look at it like, oh damn, like life is fucked. I don't have any, like I'm gonna be stuck here for the rest of my life. Like no, you can't look at it that way. Just keep trying, and I think you will find it. Like even now, like we have nothing really set in stone what the next steps are, but doing this makes me feel more optimistic about the future.
And I think that's
which I've never been before.
But the biggest thing we've spoken about and why this relates is because we're just having fun.
Exactly. Yeah.
So whatever comes from it is going to be what we've attracted through our energy.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I think with the right energy and just being free flowing and just being a little bit prepared, obviously you got to do hard work still.
Yeah. I think that's the point.
Still
that's
hard work.
That's a good point. A lot of people miss. You still got to put in the hours and the reps.
Yeah, it's not being carefree or whatever. Like, be free in conversation or be free in your niche.
Yeah.
But at the same time, do the hard work to leverage.
Yeah, like we're talking about it and it's fun, but we're putting in a lot of work to make sure like the back end is a lot more. We're putting in the physical, the hours in it.
Because in order for something to come out of it, you do need to put in work.
Of course, yeah. And I think that's the point. Like a lot of people might say, like, oh,
that's the point people forget.
Yeah, because a lot of people are like, oh, if it's meant to happen, it will happen. No, it would happen if you put in the work behind it.
So like you pray to God and you're like, God, show me the path, whatever it is, right? Bring me success.
Yeah.
But God's gonna be like, okay, I'll show you it.
Yeah.
But you have to walk through the door.
Exactly.
And walking through the door for us was not just starting the podcast, but it's everything that comes with the podcast. It's like, I'm gonna record the videos, but then you also have to prepare the videos. You also have to edit the videos. You also have to make the clips a certain way. You also have to find a way to go viral because those are things that matter in terms of having something come from. Yeah. The other thing is like, we could have not done this, and we could be wasting our time doing something else.
Exactly.
That wouldn't be productive.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we're at least productive moving forward.
Yeah.
You're falling forward.
Yeah.
Which is, as he said before, like sometimes you take one step back to move 3 steps forward, and maybe the step back we took in our personal lives before we started this was the initiator for 3 steps forward.
Yeah.
Which in the
definitely
end,
was. Yeah.
Which in the end, I might be thinking like, damn, why did that happen? How could this happen?
Yeah. In the moment, it's
God,
hard to.
Why'd you do this? But then, if that didn't happen, this would never have started.
Yeah, like for me, like if it was very hard, but now looking back at it, I'm like, oh, everything happened for a reason, because I wouldn't have been in the position that I'm now.
Yeah.
Like maybe I wouldn't have taken the step to make content, go really focus on the business
Take
that
risks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I think by doing this, it also helps your mental health too, because you're breaking free from things that was blocking you before. Like having the idea of like, oh, I want to try sewing, or I want to try the sport, I want to try that.
Yeah.
You're blocking something from yourself.
Yeah.
And that's bringing out your inner child.
Yeah.
By doing this, we're having fun with it, but we're also emotionally maturing through it.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about topics that are
interesting to us.
Interesting and shedding more light on things that people may need to hear. Yeah. And hopefully helping somebody behind the screen.
Yeah, and also helping ourselves. Because just talking about these topics and stuff, like I'm learning so much from Ali now that I wasn't doing before.
Vice versa.
And that stimulates the mind even more, and that's helping my mental health.
And the other good thing is like, you're not alone.
Exactly. Yeah. Once we started talking, like, oh, it might have been a different situation, but the feelings are the same.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, like, like he's younger than me.
Yeah.
I've had the job, he hasn't, but you still see the similarities that we have.
And I think that's the biggest thing. A lot of the people around you, maybe their situation is not the same.
Yeah.
But the feelings you get from the situations are the same where you relate to. Yeah. Where his situation, the stories may be different.
Yeah.
Whereas mine may be different, but there's a similar outcome.
Yeah.
And reaction to that.
Yeah.
Where like his relationship stuff, I don't really completely understand, but I could imagine that. Yeah. And then be able to see that and then learn from that to move forward, where one day when I have a partner, I'll be able to be like more prepared for
exactly.
it.
So I agree.
Shit like that.
Yeah. So I think we discussed a lot of good topics this week. Anything else you want to add before we wrap up the podcast?
Remember FPM. I think that's a good metric. Put S in there if you're struggling with sleep, or add another letter based on whatever it may be.
Yeah, and what I would say is if you are going through something, take the time to analyze the issues. But the biggest thing I would say is actionable next steps. Find the why and then actionable next steps. I think that would really help you guys put a good plan in place. Like you said, you have a contract. I think if you don't put a good plan in place, then you're really not going to be able to move forward.
Paradigms.
Yeah.
I mentioned this in the podcast, I don't remember a while ago. I mentioned paradigms.
Yeah.
When you change your habits, when you do things that are unordinary and out of routine, you'll change your paradigm, you'll change what you're attracting.
Yeah.
Change who you are, and you'll change what's coming into your life.
Yeah.
And you will be pulled back by your old life.
Yeah.
But you got to change that.
It's okay to be pulled back as long as you know how to move forward from
exactly.
that.
That's the emotional regulation.
Exactly.
I think that's pretty much it, man. That's the 7-3 podcast.
Make sure to put in again, like always, make sure to like, comment, subscribe when you guys are commenting. I know we talked a lot about like sleep and depression, anxiety. So we want to hear stories from you guys. Some things like that have worked for you or not have worked for you, or issues that you're going to let us know. And in the future podcasts, we're going to start bringing these topics back around.
Yeah.
And because we're changing daily, we're growing daily. So I'm sure we want to hear from you guys too.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you.
That's episode 7. We'll catch
episode 7. We'll see you guys again next week. This guy. Good podcast.
They always are.